An African folktale of destiny and justice. In the village of Kwame's Crossing, where the great river met the red earth, there lived a merchant named Adisa whose tongue was sweeter than honeycomb and whose heart was darker than a moonless night. Across the marketplace from his compound lived Efua, a woman whose indigo cloth was sought by traders from distant kingdoms. Her hands knew secrets passed down through 7 generations of dyers: how to coax the deepest blues from leaves, how to make fabric that held the sky itself. Adisa watched her prosperity with eyes that burned green with envy. "Why should a woman's cloth fetch more cowries than my salt and spices?" he muttered to the shadows that kept him company. So Adisa began to weave something more dangerous than Efua's finest fabric. He wove lies. To the village elders, he whispered that Efua's dyes came from forbidden rituals. To the traders, he suggested her cloth was treated with powders that brought misfortune. To the chief's wives, he hinted that her success came from stealing the recipes of others. Word by word, thread by thread, Adisa unraveled Efua's life. The traders stopped coming. The elders frowned when she passed. Even the women who had learned at her mother's side turned their faces away. Within 3 seasons, Efua's compound grew silent. Her dye pot sat empty. Her clotheslines hung bare as bones. Adisa smiled and expanded his business into the space her ruin had created. But Efua did not break. She gathered what remained: her grandmother's cowrie beads, her mother's brass weights, and her own unshakable dignity, and she waited. For she knew what her grandmother had taught her: the moon sees what the sun cannot. Truth has patience that lies do not. The years turned like the great river's current. Adisa's wealth grew vast. He traded in salt, spices, cloth, and copper. His compound sprawled like a baobab's roots, and his name was spoken in the coastal kingdoms. Yet prosperity made him careless, and carelessness made him vulnerable. One night, during the season of storms, a trader arrived from the north. His robes were fine, his speech refined, and his proposition irresistible: the partnership that would triple Adisa's wealth. All the merchant needed was Adisa's seal on certain documents, his signature on certain agreements. "We must conclude this tonight," the trader urged. "My caravan leaves with the dawn." Thunder rolled across the sky like drums announcing a festival. Lightning cracked the darkness, and rain began to fall in sheets. Adisa called for lamps, but the storm's fury extinguished them one by one. The trader suggested they wait for the storm to pass. Then, as if summoned by something older than greed, the clouds parted. The full moon emerged, massive and silver as a warrior's shield. Its light poured through the windows like liquid truth, falling across the table where the documents lay spread. "Enough light to see by," the trader said quietly. "Shall we proceed?" In that moonlight, Adisa read and signed. Page after page, seal after seal. He saw the words, witnessed them in that peculiar silver glow, but his greed made him blind to what they truly said. When dawn came, the trader was gone. Within a moon's cycle, Adisa understood what he had done. The documents were not partnership agreements, they were transfers of ownership. His compound, his warehouses, his ships, his trading licenses, all now belonged to Efua, daughter of the indigo, keeper of her grandmother's wisdom. He had signed everything away to her, every transaction witnessed and sealed in his own hand, illuminated by moonlight that revealed what greed had hidden. The trader had been Efua's cousin, returned from his travels with knowledge of law and leverage. But it was the moon, ancient witness to truth, that had ensured every signature was clear, every transfer undeniable. Adisa raced to the elders, but what defense could he offer? His own seal marked every document. His own signature confirmed every word. And when Efua appeared before the council, she carried something else: testimonies from traders who finally spoke truth, confessions from those whose consciences had long been burdened, evidence of every lie Adisa had ever planted. The moonlight had exposed more than documents, it had illuminated the trail of betrayal he had left behind. "Take it all," Adisa whispered, broken. "Take everything." I already have, Efua replied, her voice calm as the river at dawn. Not through lies, as you took from me, but through patience. Through truth. Through the justice that moves slowly but arrives inevitably, like the moon's cycle. She did not keep his wealth. Instead, Efua used it to rebuild what Adisa had destroyed, not just her own life, but the lives of others he had crushed beneath his ambition. She established a marketplace where honest traders could flourish. She taught the daughters of the village her grandmother's craft, ensuring the knowledge would never be lost. As for Adisa, she offered him one thing, a small stall in the corner of the new marketplace, where he could sell simple goods if he chose to earn his bread honestly. Some nights, when the moon rose full and silver over Kwame's crossing, the elders would tell this story to their children. They would speak of how lies might flourish in darkness, but truth only needs time and the patient light of the moon. And in the marketplace, Efua's indigo cloth once again caught the morning sun, blue as the sky, deep as justice, lasting as the stories we remember. The moon does not hurry, the grandmothers say. The moon does not forget. And when the moon chooses a side, even the darkness learns to bow.